Remember to actually hit record this time, okay, and not just start talking about something immediately. Like I think I've done the last like 3 streams. So then I had to repeat myself. I feel like it's fine when I don't have people watching me, but it is something I should start getting the habit of doing for when people actually watch me, because I mean, I'm sure they'd understand, but like I also just don't want to repeat myself like basically the exact same way I already did. Because I forget about my points too a lot as well, so I feel like it also just helps me. Because it's very possible I just forget a point I was trying to make, you know, before that. But yeah, I was looking at, well, first of all, actually, I'm just gonna go on Twitter. There was not a whole lot, thankfully, for my sanity. There was not a whole lot, at least trending, that I could see. Other than people calling to abolish the Electoral College, which is funny, because I feel like I've talked about like how stupid the Electoral College is with this upcoming election, you know? And the fact that, like, in all honesty, if we went off popular vote, yeah, we would just be cruising through this election, you know? Like, I feel like there wouldn't be all that much coverage, but the fact that we have the Electoral College, and it's very possible Kamala loses, that's why we're talking about it. Especially when I saw the leftist reaction to her DNC speech. It's very much not secured. And RFK also dropping out of the swing states. I mean, again, I don't think they'll add too much, but it will add a little bit. So yeah, there's all that going on. And people were also saying, and I think I had that thought too, of like once Texas goes blue, like they'll probably want to turn it back. But in my mind, I don't think they would want to do that unless it's like not in play anymore. And even then, that's gonna take a minute. Because it might kind of be in play now, but I think it'll definitely be in play 2028. And then 2032 might be when it will lean more Democrat going in. It's like probably how it was last election. Probably how like this current election is gonna go, where it's probably gonna be like Republican by like a point or two, if I were to guess. You know, I think it would still lean Republican this year, even though it's technically under like the likely margin in poly market, but whatever. Oh, they actually, oh yeah, they did update the 538 stuff finally. Yay. Cool, now I can look at that, not just poly market. That's nice. So yeah, the polls have Kamala up in every swing state except Georgia and North Carolina, which are tilled. Oh, those must have been recent polls too that brought Trump back. North Carolina. Oh no, this is with the right, this is the simulation. That's right. I think actually if you look strictly at the polls, Kamala is winning. Like Kamala's leading. I'm pretty sure. But yeah. Let's see. It's looking up for Kamala right now. Yeah. Kansas is just barely in the likely category, 14.9. Nice. Yeah, Trump is 4.1 in Florida, Texas 5.7. How much did... Actually, I can just look at this here. Past elections. He won by 5.6 last year. I think that's gonna be reduced. I think, most likely. If I were to guess. They also should definitely remove the cap off the freaking house. Like, I guess I can see the point of it being like too crowded, But like you also can't freaking represent like as many people as these people are representing, you know? And then like also people are losing representation, and it's just like it sucks, dude. I feel like it's a bad system. Because I'm sure there's been governments that have had a big like governing body and it's worked. Let me look up countries. Would it be largest government body? Is that how I would phrase it? Oops. Typing with the cast on because I feel my wrist kind of hurting a little bit. Yeah, China's is made of 2,980, which I'm not even sure if they're like technically representing enough people either, but global parliamentary report. I know people will just be like, oh, EU, China, so like I'm trying to find other ones. You know, like, yeah, I think there's definitely a negative stigma towards China and just like, you know, just antagonizing them for like no reason. I mean, well, I guess you'd say they're not perfect, obviously, but you know, they've done some good stuff also. Oh, the United Kingdom is 1,435, yeah. It's pretty big. Germany's is big. The US not even... There's 435. Oh, and yeah, then 100 senators. I didn't look at the members part. Yeah, so US is 26th, which if you go by total population, that's not a lot. You know, Cuba has more than the US does. Like, that's saying something. And Nepal. If Nepal and Cuba have more than the US, I feel like, you know, you're not doing something right. And Burma, Myanmar. Are we still calling it Burma? Is it not just Myanmar? Alright. Yeah, I do think the US's should be bigger. Like, at least the House. I mean, I don't even think you really need the Senate, realistically. And I think that is what, like, I think Cuba does that, where they don't have a Senate. They just have, like, the House, essentially. Because I don't think there's any point. It was a compromise because, like, oh, all the big states will get more power. But I think that's when the states had more individual freedom. The fact that we're now more, like federally, like the federal government has more power and all that. I think it should be bigger. And like the oh, them getting more representation ultimately doesn't really matter, you know. That's how I see it. Because yeah, that's what I think, is that I think at this point it doesn't really matter that the bigger states will have more representation, because honestly they should have more representation because they're bigger and they have more people. It just makes sense, you know. And then the smaller ones get less representation. Granted, like, they still get like the necessary amount of representation they need, but yeah. I guess people are gonna be like, oh, but California's in a dictator politics, and then it's just a bunch of nonsense. I feel like people probably are already doing that anyway, though. Yeah, they have what, 52 seats? Yeah, 52. The thing is, like, even with how big the House is, the 40 doesn't really, like, the 40 California Democrats don't really add up that much in the grand scheme of things. At least I feel like it anyway. Yeah. That's just how I feel. Yeah, it was funny going on Twitter and seeing people complain about the Electoral College, because yeah, that is something I also, even before I became a leftist, complained about and saw how stupid it was the Electoral College. And yeah, if you want to do even more compromising, you could do the district system like Maine or Nebraska does. But even then, like, the Electoral College is just... The only people who actually defend it are like people who wouldn't win unless they had the Electoral College. I keep freaking burping. I literally ate like 2 hours ago. Great. Awesome. Yeah, I think those are like the main people. Like, otherwise, like, people want it getting rid of because, yeah, again, it doesn't make any sense. Like, as a concept, it literally was put into place because they're like, oh, well, the people are too stupid to vote. Like, how elitist of them. I get that, like, not many of them were, like, educated or, like, could read and whatnot, but, like, still, it's a little messed up. And I feel like, yeah, when you make it so their vote matters as much and is equal, they'll actually do more research into the candidates, you know? And I don't think it'll be entirely Democrat Republican. My one worry though with getting rid of the Electoral College is that since like it's very likely that Democrats would win like pretty much every race, I don't think they would bother becoming more progressive. But there is another side of that coin of, I think as Gen Alpha rises up as well, the youth is only going to get more left-wing and left-leaning and progressive, which I think is something that like these advisors of like Kamala's and all them aren't realizing, is that I think we're only going to get more left-wing because in the time from Gen Z who could vote and like Gen Alpha coming up, nothing has changed. It's still equally as bad, you know, and if not even more polarizing, right? And there's also been like left-leaning YouTubers and content creators like rising up, so I think you only will see people becoming more leftist, because didn't Gen Z also vote like 76% Democrat or something like that? Like that's a lot. That's a big swing. I'm sure a lot of those people are more progressive and they want change. Well, I'm sure most of them actually like, oh, but Trump though. But I'm sure also there's some of those people in that group that also want change for the better, you know? And like, you know, Democrats sometimes do it, but it's like 1 or 2 a term, and it's like, well, great. It's never really a whole lot. I mean, yeah, those stuff are good, you know, and you gotta commend them for that. But also, you gotta recognize that, well, one, they're getting more right-wing slowly, ratchet effect. Even when they're in power, they're still becoming more right-wing. And there was another point and I forgot. See, this is what I mean with my points, I forget. I need to make notes, like, whenever I start talking about this stuff. I forget all the time. When I think of multiple points, then that point is just dead. I can't, I just forget. God dang it. But yeah, they're getting more right-wing. And then there was another thing I was gonna say, and I lost it. But I do think with people becoming more progressive, they're gonna go with the more progressive, like in the primaries. I don't know in the next primary, but I think like after Kamala, when you're gonna need a new like Democratic nominee, I think you'll see people move toward, because like if Bernie was doing as well as he was doing in 2016 and 2020, I don't see any reason why like a progressive similar to Bernie would not win. Even if like the Democratic Party did what they did in 2020 and just like all back like Joe Biden or something like that, I think you would still see that progressive member win. And I think that's that big turn you need for the Democratic Party for when they'll actually be the more progressive party. Or maybe that more progressive person will usher in a third party. I don't know. Because I think at this point, for a third party to work and like sustain, it has to be an already established person. And so like if it's like you know, the current president, you know, because I don't think it would be smart to start a third party when you already won the nominee, right? And like are running. I feel like that's kind of dumb. So like I think you would want to do that when you are the current president, is to run third party or like make a third party and you are a part of it. It's just that I don't know how that would work. Like I don't know if that would really work well for leftists either. I mean, I feel like if enough people voted, like if it was like what happened in 2020, but they won, I think the leftist party would be pretty strong. But if it's like a narrow victory or like it doesn't work again, I don't think it would really work. I think it would be very rare. Or like I think the very urban areas would work, but even then I think the very urban areas are like liberal. They're not like left leaning. Well, they're left leaning like the American sense, but like in as far as like globally, I don't think they're left leaning. Because liberalism is a right leaning ideology. Because it's still pro capitalism and capitalism's right leaning. I think socialist is considered left leaning. It's either they're like centrist. It's one of the two. But yeah, and there's also that. Yeah, I do think we'll see a change. Oh yeah, and also on the like people coming up that's more left leaning, the people who are more right leaning are gonna, you know, not be around anymore as well. So there's also that. So yeah. Because I really don't see Gen Alpha becoming more right-leaning. Because again, like, the conditions have not changed since, like, we're rising up. I mean, people 3 years younger than me are Gen Alpha, I believe. That's not right. 4 years, I think. Well, I'm also at, like, the very end of the year, my birthday. So, I mean, yeah, kind of technically 3. Not exactly 3, but it's pretty much 3. So, yeah. Like, the oldest Gen Alphas are 14 right now. Which I'm sure will make people feel old, but I'm also just saying, like, Gen Alpha actually isn't that far off from being able to vote. They really aren't. They'll be able to vote in 2028, the oldest Gen Alphas. So, yeah. It's not that far off. And yeah, I think people just aren't talking about it, but yeah, it's right there. It's crazy. Oh yeah. Have they made a name for the next generation? Probably not, because we're not there yet, because it's going to end in 2025, but yeah. I mean, I would assume they have. Is it just going to be Generation Beta? God, there's going to be so many Alpha, Beta, Sigma. God dang it. If they actually do Beta. God dang it. You know, the brain rot doesn't usually get to me, right? Because I'm still younger, on the younger side. So, like, because I feel like I'm one of those people who are like, yeah, I understand it. Because I feel like there's some people out there who are just like, I don't understand a word of what you're saying. And then I'm over here being like, yeah, I understand it. Like, I won't be involved with it, but I understand it, you know? And I feel like that sets apart, like, that's the difference between young and old. You know? At least, like, mentally. Well, how would I say it? Because you're not mentally old. I feel like it's just digitally. Like, how do I put it? I don't know, man. I don't know how to frame it. Dang it. Yeah, I'm sure people understand what I'm trying to get at. I don't need a word to say it. You probably get it. Where I'm going with it. But yeah. Because yeah, the main thing I was talking about was, I think Bibu was trying to explain, I think it was just Geoff or the Rizzler. I don't think it was Geoff and the Rizzler. I don't think it was her lyrics. I think it was the original to Fuomoko. I think it was during their birthday. I'm burping again. God dang it. And yeah, I think it was Fuala mainly, but she was like, I don't understand a word of what she's saying. Well, I was listening to it, like I could actually like grasp it and understand it. Well, it could also be that like you choose to understand it or choose not to. It could also just be that. I doubt it has anything to do with critical thinking or like open-mindedness, but because I don't want to go there. But if it also has to do with that, though, that's funny. Honestly, that's more funny than anything. That's the case. Like open-mindedness and critical thinking go along with like understanding those, or like being willing to understand those. See, I think Fauna said though, like she doesn't even want to hear Gaffer no Rizzler, but I think Bibu literally sang it at the Brinky Dimensions concert, so yeah. I think at one of the like lives, right, too. Pretty sure that also happened. So yeah. I think she's heard it by now. I saw someone being like, okay, this should really end, but I think it's just like, you know, Rickrolling never died, you know? And I feel like it's okay if some jokes never die, because the thing also with Gaffer and Rizzler, which I feel like I don't mind, is that Bibu doesn't do it all the time, you know? If she did it all the time, I'd be like, yeah, sure. But she doesn't even really do it that often. She doesn't have like big occasions, right? She did it for the Advent karaoke. She did it during that like Hollow Live, or like when they were live. I don't remember where exactly, but she did it then. And then she did it for the concert. Like, it seems like at this point she only does it for big events. I mean, I guess she did do the poem with the phrasing, which is kind of like, all right. But I mean, I feel like it's fine because I feel like she doesn't use it all the time. So like that, I guess that's why me personally, I don't really mind it. Yeah, if she'd said like all the time, then I would feel like I would see why people would be like, yeah, okay, it's time to end. But I feel like she just doesn't use it that often. So I feel like it's still kind of weird to just be like, okay, yep, never use this again. It's like, that seems a little weird. Because the thing is, this isn't a story arc, what she's going, like, get from the Rizzler. It's not a story arc, you know? It's not just like, okay, that's it. Like, no. What are we talking about here? Come on. I mean, I will say, like, I am someone, but I think it's just because also I actually like being rickrolled. I don't mind Gaffer and Rizzler. I don't. And, well, I think it's a mix of, like, I don't mind being rickrolled and also I'm young. So, like, it doesn't affect me as much as other people. Even though I'm pretty sure the people who actually are affected by it the most is other Gen Zs. It was funny though too, because I saw a comment on one of the clips of being like, can we send Bibu to Gen Alpha? Give him to her. I'm like, nope, she's not. I don't think she's from the ages of -1 to 14, so sorry. She's Gen Z. Unfortunately, that she is a Gen Z member and you have to deal with it. Yeah, I just feel like it's weird to just be like, okay, yep, it's done now. Like, that's because, yeah, again, if it's a story arc, cool, but like it's not. So I also feel like it's weird to just be like, yep, this will be retired and like never seen again. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, going back to this map, something I didn't like, I saw, but like didn't understand, is that Florida's Senate race dropped down dramatically in Poly Market. Like, it was at 83.5 yesterday to today it's at 58. Like, that's a dramatic drop, and I don't know why that happened. Because I even looked it up, and it didn't really seem like there was anything that strong about it. So like, yeah, I have no idea.
products you sell at every stage of your business.
Although I
Sell
did
it
see
online
actually with leftists that
and go big, like a million orders big.
a lot of them said that they're not voting for Kamala, but they will vote down ballot.
Sign up today at shopify.com/YouTube.
So I think, yeah, the down ballot races will do better than Kamala will. Honestly, I think they will. Because yeah, I think we've also been in an era now where like people don't vote opposite parties, like we're like president, like Senate, you know. I don't think they vote differently there. So yeah, I think Ohio is actually going to be a big exception from that, because Sherrod Brown's winning as projected, as polls are showing. I really hope that Sherrod Brown wins. Like, come on, people, learn from JD Vance. Are you freaking, like, you're out of your mind? You're thinking like, ah yes, JD Vance, and then also Bernie Moreno. Like, my god. Didn't Bernie Moreno also, I think he was on the primary of 2022 as well, though, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm just like, you are out of your mind. I just hope it doesn't happen. Just don't have two crazy senators. You know, you already have JD Vance, which is an embarrassment. Don't have two embarrassments. You're already a meme. Just stop. Stop doing it. God. If you knew freaking a progressive governor, God, your stances would be so different. I mean, really, any of these countries, states. I mean, and this country as a whole. I mean, yeah, it would be like that. You know? Just have a progressive person. Oh, hey, look at that. They're the most popular people in government. Who would have guessed? Because they're actually helping people. That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, I don't know if abolishing electoral college would make it worse for like progressive movements in the Democratic Party or not. Because I could see that like the progressive wing then would be a lot more willing to vote. But the thing is with the primaries that they are popular vote for the most part. Because yeah, I guess there are still delegates and it's like the same system pretty much. See, I guess if you also made the primaries also like fully democratic as well. Because like you could probably still do like what they do with the delegates of just having them at different times. But just make it so like it'd be like, okay, they win this state, or even then just like add the votes together, you know? Because I feel like also then it keeps all of them still in it. And it, like, because I feel like a lot of times like those delegations or like those primaries, like it's very clear who's going to win after the first like 8 states, you know? Or like who wins like the big states, and it's like, well, they have no chance. Yeah, other than that, like if you actually had a popular vote, those people would still be in it and it'd still be interesting. And it would also like probably help voter turnout as well based off of those results. Because I think that's another thing that people have seen with like the electoral colleges, like, yeah, it actively hurts voter turnout as well. It's not great. I mean, because it's valid, you know? I mean, just look at, I haven't moved over, but like, just look at this. Like, look at how many are like safe. No Democrat is like going to vote here. And then same with like Republican. Like, these are all like states that like, come on, a Republican's probably not going to vote there. Especially DC. I mean, like, come on. Freaking RFK Jr. has a better shot in DC than Trump does. And then like all of these, like, come on, a Democrat's really not gonna vote there. Like even in like the likely ones too, honestly. It's very hard for them to want to vote for them. So yeah. You just gotta kind of just added it then. I think Texas and Alaska, though, are definitely two big ones that are moving more left. Alaska is literally 3 votes, so I don't think it matters too much, but obviously Texas is a huge one. I assume Georgia's another one that's moving more to the left, since it's actually in play now. Like, if I were to go to past elections, yeah, Georgia was like solid red. Oh, it actually voted Clinton. I mean, yeah, and it also voted Jimmy Carter because he was from Georgia. And again, Jimmy Carter just won like the weirdest states. Like, I don't understand, but whatever. Oh, well, Reagan was from California, so like it makes sense they didn't win there. I don't know, man. It's weird seeing Florida with 17 votes. Like, they're so small. Like, yeah, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania having so many. Yeah, people just moved away from the Rust Belt, man. It's just how it is. Yeah. Because I feel like I underestimate how big Pennsylvania really is. Because, like, even now it has 19, which is still some of the most out of all the states. You know? Like, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, Alaska went from like safe even in 2008. Like, it went down to 14 under Obama. Stayed around the same in 2016, but 2020 it dropped to 10. Which I guess just could be like anti-Trumpism, right? Like, it could just be that. But I do think that Alaska is probably going to become more left-leaning. Because actually the main thing with Alaska that's like kind of different from all the rest of them, and I think it might show here, is that like its urban areas, like where most people aren't that democratic. Well, Juneau is, but like when I was looking at it like through New York Times, it looked like a lot of like the big cities weren't that democratic. Like, even looking at Anchorage +2, and that's their biggest city by far, like, yeah, you need to win by more. And it's interesting because like all of the like more rural areas seem to be better, you know? It's very interesting. Like, Juneau definitely has like the most unique. Why is that part of that county? Okay. It's definitely the most unique looking electoral map. And also Wyoming has 2 blue districts. Neat. That's, look at all these blue districts. Well, North Dakota doesn't really have many. Yeah, Nebraska literally has Omaha, and then I think that's like Lincoln or something like that, and that's it. It's crazy to me that Oklahoma City, though, actually like is rural too. I think it's probably because they're just a bunch of white people. You know? There's not a whole lot of diversity in Oklahoma. Not a whole lot of minorities, even though it's where like the Native Americans were. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah. I mean, that's just why voter turnout's just not that great. You know? I'm just looking at it. But I think the thing with that also is to abolish the Electoral College, it has to be an amendment. Which in today's day and age is not going to happen. What's the other way? How to make an amendment to the Constitution. Okay, 2/3 of Congress can do it. I think it's still like 3/4 of the states. Yeah. Or 3/4 of the state legislatures, which would still be like, it would be the same thing. Yeah, but I think that's the only way you could get rid of the Constitution. Like, legally speaking. Yeah, you could get the proposal done potentially with 2/3 of Congress. And I guess how many states? Because like Texas would be one. Because I'm doing this if Texas goes blue. Because I think that's the only way I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's DC. 8, 9, 10, 11. But would the swing states want to do that? I guess it would just depend on what the legislature is. If it's mostly Democratic or not. Because I think Wisconsin's actually isn't. I think it's majority Republican, so I don't think they would. See, I think we're still honestly a little ways away from that. Because I think the amendment would fall like entirely among party lines. I mean, I guess I could see a few Republican ones doing that. But I feel like it'd only be like 1 or 2. So like you'd still have to get, what is it, 2/3, I think? 3/4, which I believe is 38. So like you would have to get like 36 states on board already. And then you'd have to have like maybe a couple Republican ones as well. But like that would be it. Although even I feel like if you got to that point though, I think Republicans would also want to get rid of it. Because 36 having like majority Democrat like state legislatives, like that's a lot. Like that probably means that you're having 36 blue states, you know? Which ones would I think would be the most likely to? You know, maybe that would be an interesting thought experiment, you know? Let's try that. I'm probably just gonna go off of like most recent or like more recent IDs. Why does this feel like weird? Is it because it's not full screen? I don't know why. Is this because it's at the bottom? It might be because this thing's at the bottom. Left. I mean, yeah, that looks a little better. I don't know. Let me recenter it. Okay, it is already centered. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this by what states I think would do this. Or like what states I think could have an all Democrat legislature. So obviously California, I'm just gonna go with the safe blues, you know. It's very obvious. Well, that's New Hampshire's likely, but I think New Hampshire would be one. Colorado and New Mexico I think would be 2. Hawaii would definitely be 1. Illinois would be 1. Is that all the safe ones? I think for Maine and Nebraska I'm just gonna make them all the same color. Because I chose a presidential one and I'm just talking about individual states. Texas would be included for this. Yeah, oh, I missed New York. I'm a dummy. Yeah, Virginia probably would. Oh, I have to count the states myself. Shoot. Should I do Senate or something? Or can I make it so they're each worth 1? I think I can change the values, but I think this is gonna take a minute. So, these are borders. Yeah, I think I can change the values of them, but again, it's just probably gonna be quicker if I just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I think this would be 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Pennsylvania would probably be 1, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I miss Minnesota. So then that'd be 18, 19, 20, 21. I think Ohio would be included. Arizona, Nevada. I think Nevada does just have one already. So then that'd be 22, 23, 24, I believe. Alaska, I think, would be a part of that. 25. Georgia, 26. Florida, 27. North Carolina 28. Maine probably. So it'd be 29. I need 38, right? Probably Iowa 30. I'm thinking Kansas. South Carolina and Kansas, I think. How have they been doing? Have they been getting more red, or are they just kind of, or like more blue, or are they just kind of hovering around? I feel like it's so hard. Oh wait, this is, hang on. Oh yeah, no, South Carolina's been likely for a while, and actually I think it's become more red. I think, yeah. It's so hard to compare 2016 to 2020 though, because I feel like a lot of it was based off of like anti-Trump stuff. And Obama won by like such a landslide. I feel like it's so hard to tell. You know? It's so hard. Yeah, I can't really tell if Kansas, I think they're just staying around the same, honestly. So yeah, Kansas is still at 14. Trump won it by 20. Romney won it by 20. Oh, maybe then. McCain won by 15. Maybe? Like, yeah, Texas is a very clear one. But yeah, they're probably staying around the same. I do think they're also probably more likely than like most other states, as far as having like an all Democrat legislative. Yeah, I like how Hillary went after Missouri in 2016. That wasn't the smartest move to do there, Hillary. That's for sure. Because Missouri was more blue, wasn't it? Well, no, even like Obama in 2008 didn't win freaking Missouri. Clinton won it. What Bill did, Hillary sure was not close. It's different times, 20 years later. Not even close. Yeah, I think it'd probably be Kansas next. Even though, like, we're getting to the wire here. What was it, 31, I think I'm at? Maybe Kansas. Indiana, I think they're on the one where, like, barely safe. With, like, Missouri and, like, I'll do South Carolina, too. Like, these are what I'm thinking are the most likely. What's Tennessee been doing? Is it all... It's been very red. Oh, well, voted for Bill. Wow. That's crazy. And I think it's been very red ever since, yep. Yeah, even against Obama, plus 20. Like, yeah, Indiana voted for Obama. So, like, I'm just gonna say Indiana. Like, if you vote for Obama, then yeah. Voted by more than North Carolina did. Yeah, maybe look at the Obama. Well, that really only helped with Indiana, actually. And maybe Missouri. I'll throw Missouri on there. I'm thinking this maybe then. Actually, yeah, because Mississippi was closer and West Virginia were closer than Tennessee was. I don't even remember how many states I have at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So one more probably, which I think would either be Mississippi or West Virginia. I'm just gonna say because they had Joe Manchin, even though I think he's more right-leaning, West Virginia. Actually, let me see the more recent ones. Actually, yeah, Mississippi was closer there. Oh, a lot closer. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, isn't West Virginia like one of the most Republican? Yeah, never mind. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the most Republican states in recent years. Yeah, no, it's definitely Mississippi. So if there was 38, it'd probably be those. Which again is like crazy, but I feel like it's so hard to judge with Nebraska though, because it's in like, yeah, at large. Actually, I think at large is accurate because I think it does do all of them. Which, yeah, it didn't go out likely, so I think it's, yeah. I think it would be these 38 if they were to have all Democrat, or at least like majority Democrat bodies. It would be these 38, and that's what you would need to probably get rid of the Electoral College. I mean, again, though, it might just be that like Republicans would see the writing on the wall here. Because, I mean, yes, it would be 457 to 81. You know? Like, that's kind of crazy. Well, actually, not even, because, yeah, they'd win 2nd District easily. As well. It would be 458 to 80. Because, I mean, seeing how close Maine's 2nd District is, if there was a map like this, then, I mean, yeah. Like winning Mississippi, Maine's 2nd District would definitely also be Democrat. Like people are even like thinking it might go Democrat this year. And believe it or not, we aren't even close to a map like this. You know? Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see a huge sweep like with Nixon and Reagan. I think the only reason they had huge sweeps as they did was because they were right-leaning. And that's the only way you're going to get sweeps. Because the rural areas are never going to change. Or like they're so deeply like Republican, you're not changing them. Wyoming's plus 43. West Virginia's plus 39. Like, you aren't changing them. I don't care how good you are. Oklahoma's plus 33. Nebraska's 3rd District plus 53. Like, I don't care how good of a candidate you aren't changing that. Like, they're staying Republican. It's like the same with DC. Like, that's why you'll never see a full sweep, honestly, because of DC. Because actually, Reagan almost won Minnesota. Yeah, he barely lost Minnesota, but even DC was plus 71. Even in like the biggest of landslides, DC was plus 71. And the crazy part is too is like most of these are like all pretty much likely, like except Massachusetts and Rhode Island. I think all of these are likely. Yeah, it was a dumb like destruction. It's insane how much of a demolition it was. Even Hawaii, like, good lord. Almost won Minnesota, which is I believe Mondale's home state, which is probably the only reason he won it. Like, oh, I can't see the district. Oh, I can see it here, districts. But yeah, insane. 4,000 votes decided it. That's crazy. Which actually, oh, these were left leaners too. Socialists, workers, independent Democrat, libertarian, but I mean, America First assumes right leaning. Oh, Populist Party, conservative, yep. Citizens. That was left leaning. So yeah, most of these were left leaning. 630 communist votes, baby. Heck yeah. Y'all saw, baby. Yep, awesome. I see that with like 2020. Like if I were to go to Minnesota then. Oh, and then it doesn't send me to the Wikipedia page. Then it wants to go into individual ones. Yeah, I just want to see. Oh, they have the Libertarian Caucus in here too. Huh. Oh yeah, they definitely have a lot more on these than they do the older elections. Oh, that wasn't even the Communist Party. What the frick, man? Why is there actually like a legitimate Communist Party in Minnesota in the 80s on Reagan's re-election and not during the 2021? What the frick, man? That's outrageous. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, it's sure was a lot. Yeah, you'll never see a clean sweep of the Electoral College. It'll never happen. I think honestly, in the way that I see like the future generation coming up, the only way you'd get clean sweep actually is to the left, even though I think in today's day and age, their margin of victory would be a lot smaller than, say, a Republican. Like a Democrat landslide would be a lot smaller than a Republican landslide. You know? Because, yeah, I think a Democrat landslide in this election context would be winning all the swing states, and that's pretty much it. It's probably not even winning Texas and Florida, all things considered. Oh yeah, someone did make a good point on the poly market with Ohio, because they have Florida and Texas more likely to go Democrat than Ohio, as being like, hey, the win by margin of like plus 215 or whatever, like that encompasses both of these, so that's actually a better bet than saying Ohio would be Democratic. So I mean, like, yeah, it's a fair point. It would be so funny though if, since JD's his running mate, if they lost Ohio. Like, that'd be so funny, but it's probably not gonna happen. I do think it's gonna be more left leaning than what's showing here. Because I just think it's probably gonna underestimate the younger generation coming in with all the new voters. But yeah, I don't think it'd be that crazy. I think though also like I'm in my mind envisioning not being that crazy, just so like, you know, I won't get hyped over it and then be like, oh well, that was underwhelming, you know. It's more of just like I can be more open to be pleasantly surprised than just be like disappointed, you know. So that's why I'm like probably keeping it more low key and being like, oh well, the best case scenario probably is just winning on the swing states. Well, and also I think she also didn't help with the DNC speech, and what I saw leftist reactions of being like, well, I'm not voting for her. So yeah, I think also that it's probably not going to help her. I do think she is probably still going to win, but yeah, that it sure didn't help her. I do think though Michigan should probably be a lot closer though. But yeah, that's that. It is still weird to me that what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Florida Senate race dropped so dramatically. Yeah, I literally was looking into it and I found nothing, or at least like that would reason as to why like it went from how it did yesterday to today, because I saw an article from 2 days ago, but I feel like it would have changed it then yesterday, you know, like the result would drop dramatically then. But I think even on Poly Market though, it's also like this is 538. I think on Poly Market it also has gone back up to like 60 again. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's going back up to like 60. It's actually increasing as I'm checking back in this. So yeah, I'm not sure if that was just like a bug or something. But it was very weird. Because it went from like likely, very likely, to like almost tilt, which was crazy. Like as close as freaking Ohio Senate races. Like that's insane. Yeah, I think the problem with the two-party system though also is just like people are a lot more keen to be like, oh well, this administration sucked, like this party sucked, then I'll go with the other one. Surely they'll change it for the better. And in reality, that's not how that works. You know? Especially if you go like, man, the Democratic administration sucked. Surely the Republicans will do better, and then they don't. Or at least like people will think they do because Democratic economic policies kicked in under the Republicans administration. And then they're like, wow, that really... the Republican did such a good job. And in reality, no, that was the Democrat. And people don't really realize that. Like, yeah, I think the inflation was probably at least mostly caused by Trump's economic policies, not Biden's. But I'm sure COVID didn't help either, but I'm sure some of it was definitely Trump. It was not really Biden. Especially since I think the inflation happened like his first year or something like that, and even then it's like, come on, man. Of course he didn't do that. Yeah, you always have to take it as like the last 2 years, or the first 2 years of a president's, like, of a president economically is usually from the last 2 years or so of the last president. So yeah, give or take. That's usually how it works, because yeah, the economy doesn't happen immediately, you know. There's trends. So yeah, people also should probably just keep that in mind. I think that is one of the main reasons though why people trust the Republicans' economy more, is because of that phenomenon. But in reality, it's Democratic economic policy that was helping them, not the Republican policy. Yeah. I also didn't even realize that there was a poll now in America that more than half of people opposed to like the amount of immigrants we had. It's like, my god, it's gotten that bad, huh? That's crazy. I will say, I think as far as these two projections, I think I trust the 538 more than the Poly Market. Because I think Poly Market is really underselling like the younger base. Obviously, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed Kamala will win, but I think it's the more likely outcome. And it only has Kamala like 50% and Trump at 49%. Well, I think in reality it's at least 55-45 Kamala favor. But yeah, I don't know. I think the primaries will probably be very telling. Because I assume Kamala's gonna serve out her term, right? And this is if Kamala wins. And then I think the primary that comes after that, again, will be very telling. But I could also see people just sticking with Tim Walz, because he does seem like he's more on the progressive side, and he also got stuff done. And he's also very well liked, even on like the Republican side as well. So, like, I could see people sticking with Tim Walz. And I think he was also younger than, yeah, I looked it up. He's younger than Reagan and Trump were, and Biden, obviously. When they were in office. So his age wouldn't be too unheard of. Because he'd be 68. He'd be just older than when William Henry Harrison was in office. Yeah, I guess you would only know by his mental, like, how he's holding up, you know. That's how you would know for sure. I wouldn't be surprised though if like it was like an AOC or something like that though, for sure. Who would get like the Democratic nominee in like 2020 or 2032 for it to be like a AOC or like any member of the squad. Would not be surprised at all. It is probably, honestly, that's probably who it's gonna be. Because I think also, again, since it's a younger voter base, you're probably gonna see like more skewed towards younger people. Bernie, I think, is just unique in the fact that like his economic policy, like, it's good. His policy and messaging are good, but he's like on the older side, and like that's, I think, kind of more of a anomaly or an outlier. Okay, everybody else, I think they more would want to go for someone on the younger side. I think 2032 AOC would be 43. I believe that is the case, because I think she's 35 now, or 34, or one of the two. I think she's 34, just about to turn 35 maybe, so 42, 43 in 2032. Yeah, she would be very young. I think she'd be like second youngest elected, because I think like JFK was 42, 43. She'd be up there. Yeah, I feel like you really truly can't tell the direction we're going until this election cycle's done. Because I think for a fact, if Trump were to continue, it's gonna be 4 years of pain and misery. That's for sure. I don't know if they'd be competent enough though to be able to stop an election from happening or like rig it. Honestly, I don't know if they'd be competent enough. Because for sure he'd be getting voted out then, if that was the case. And then it's like, it wouldn't be until 2028 or 2032, depending on who wins, I don't think, on which way the country's going. Which I do think it's going to be more left-wing, but again, we'll have to wait and see. You know, we're going to have to wait 4 to 8 years. Which is kind of crazy, but yeah, it's how it is. I think though also people are probably going to participate more in like even like House and Senate primaries, because those are really important. If you actually want like a candidate, like have a chance to vote for a candidate you actually want, the primaries are the perfect time to do that. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think it's the only way you're really getting progressive people in, is if you vote for that progressive person in the primaries. Otherwise, you're going to be smacked with a liberal or a right-winger who just is like, yep, I'm a Democrat. It's like, oh, cool, dude. Awesome. Yeah. I think I'm finally done talking about politics. I did not think I'd go over an hour for it. I think, honestly, I thought I'd go like 15 minutes. And I went way longer than I thought I would. I just kept yapping, man. Felt like electoral politics, man. For some reason when it gets to that, I just yap a lot. It's crazy. Yeah, I think I'm finally done with that. I started a half hour later because I didn't think I would be able to go the full 3 hours. I'm gonna be fully honest. And I am an hour in, and there's an hour and a half left. Technically not even halfway through. But yeah, that's honestly like, well, it's because I was watching video in the bathroom. And there was a lot of stuff going on that made me feel that way. Oh, this hasn't been unshuffled the entire time. I'm sorry. Oh, there's an ad. God dang it. Unskippable 30-second one too. How about I refresh? There we go. Cool. Anyway. Yeah. I will say, I think Twitter has ruined me. Because I don't remember when I really got the feeling at first. It was either Friday or yesterday. But I just had this sense of being like, and I'm thinking it's weird. Maybe not. I think it's just wholesome, and that Twitter's just messing with me, and they've ruined my sense of morality. But I've just like thought about the like breaking dimension stuff for Hololive like EN, and just like weirdly feeling proud. And it's weird because again, I wasn't even there at the beginning. I've only really started watching Hololive clips, I think like 2 months ago at this point, 2-3 months. So like I've been a newer Hololive fan. And it's just kind of weird to me, but I think again it's Twitter that's made me feel this way. And just like happy for them. The part I think is weird is saying proud. Like obviously it being like, oh, I'm happy for them. Like, no. Like I just have this weird sense of like pride for them, you know? It's like I'm a coach, you know? It's really weird. I think it's because I can respect like how long and like how far they've come, you know? And it's crazy to think about in like the wild world of content creation. Like all things considered, it's like VTubing is still very recent in the history of content creation. And so like it's just weird even like 4 years later for EN being like, man, they've gone, like they've really come a long way, and like it feels like they've been around forever, you know? Like it's hard to imagine a world without VTubers, you know? I mean, I'm a PNG tuber, you know? Like it's crazy. But yeah, I'm really happy for them. You know, good for them. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I think people would get that because I'm talking kind of monotone. That's just my voice. And I've learned that's also maybe potentially something of autism, which again I haven't been diagnosed with, but I heavily suspect I have. So there's also that. But yeah, I'm really happy for them, you know. Again, I think I just appreciate how far they've come, you know. I mean, they really get to like perform on stage, and like I'm sure a lot of them are glad they get to do it behind like that anonymity, you know, because I'm sure a lot of them again would have loved to do it when they were younger. They just necessarily were like struggling with, you know, people seeing them just out there. So like when they're just considered idols, I'm sure it's great, you know. I'm sure it's awesome. But yeah, I feel like I'm keeping going with this because there was something else I want to add, and I can't think of it now. But like it was something that was going in my mind like leading up to this. I just can't remember what it was. But yeah. Oh yeah, something I did want to say, and I think I wanted to say it like back when it was like 2 weeks ago at this point, when I think they like showed the 3D models for the like breaking dimensions with all of them, their weapons. The first thing that came to mind was just that's their Fire Emblem Hero sprites. That was the first thing that came to my mind. That's just their Fire Emblem Hero sprites, you know? Because like all of them have like their weapon out basically, and like, you know, in motion. It's a still image but in motion. Like, yeah, that's just their Fire Emblem Heroes pictures. So yeah, that was funny. I just had that thought, and I forgot to mention it like those like 2 weeks ago, but yeah, I said it there. I haven't watched it at all, but I've seen like clips of like Justice reacting to it, and yeah, they're also gonna get there eventually, you know, too, as well. So yeah, it's very cool. But you know, I'm glad to see them doing well, succeeding, you know, living their life to the fullest. It's awesome. And also the people there having the time of their lives. Yeah, they're crazy. But I mean, you know, it's great. You know, it's awesome. Wholesome. Wholesome hours. I feel like it's rare to have wholesome hours here, man. Because I'm just talking about politics most of the time. Which is very unwholesome. Most times. So when you have a wholesome moment, man, especially on this stream, it feels great. I think actually, well, actually this is what I want to add, because I listened to Breaking Dimensions, because they obviously released the song before then. I believe on Hololive English it would make sense, because it involves all of them. But yeah, that's really when you can appreciate how far all of them have come, you know, and like, it's awesome just seeing. Because I'm sure like they're the happiest they've ever been, you know. At least most of them, because I do know like streaming takes a lot mentally, you know. And I feel like some people do need to recognize that, like it can take a lot out of them. But I'm sure like they wouldn't change it for the world. Like even Mume when she was on a break, so like if it was any other job she would have quit it. So like I feel like that shows like how much they love their job, you know. Like it's, I'm just really happy for him, you know. It's awesome. Yeah, I think that's also why though with the Break of Dimensions, and I think even like going to the concert I would actually tear up. I think it's going back to like that weird coach thing I have with it, and again it's so weird because I'm just a random nobody that like they have no idea who I am, and I really didn't know who they were until like, you know, like 6 months ago. But yeah, I think honestly if I were to listen to them again, and also Promise's song, I think when they first became Promise, or it was like a few months afterwards, something like that, that song too. Yeah, those songs, like I feel like if I listen to them I actually like tear up. It's like, yeah, dude, it's awesome. Emotion overload. Yeah, they'd be tears of joy, which apparently going on Twitter some people don't know that feeling. You know, apparently not. Yeah, it's mainly what I wanted to talk about with that. I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I want to take a Hitman break, even though I played it last night. Just because I was getting a little mad at it. And I feel like it's because I'm like playing too much. Like I think a short break from it will be a good idea. I'm yawning. Ugh. Then I have no idea what to go on to. I have no idea. I have seen like a lot of like content creators have like politics on their stuff. I mean, yeah, it's getting crazy. These are muted. Ooh. This says it showed a poll where Kamala was up 7 over Trump. The headline was Trump by 7, so it made me think that like Trump was leading. It was in favor of Trump, but now it's not. It was the other way around. And yeah, apparently there was also a poll that had her up 8. But yeah, I think Kamala's still gonna win. You're just not gonna have the leftist support. I do think though, like, people are gonna have to start being like, you gotta go along with the protests, make them feel uncomfortable. You know, you can't just keep going, like, growing complacent, man. If you want to send it in the right direction, you can't keep growing complacent. You just can't. And again, going back to the I'm not doing politics apparently. Just like, I think like the primary after Kamala will be very important and very telling if there's a progressive candidate or not. Yeah, I don't see much changing honestly under Kamala's presidency, so I think people would go for a more progressive choice. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for politics. And it was just because I got back on Twitter. I need to stop. Stop going on Twitter. I hate it. I should probably make clips of the last stream. I just need to make clips in general. I need to. I keep not doing it, and I think the reason why is because I screwed myself over at the beginning. I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna make a whole like highlight of the stream, so then that just made me not want to do it. I'd be like, oh, that's gonna be a while. So I think my strategy before is just be like, okay, start with clips, and then once I feel more comfortable, do longer form stuff. And I went against that, kind of, because I didn't start it, but I think I forgot that was kind of what I was going for, and now I'm remembering why I did that. Because I need to do that. Still burping. Awesome. God, I gotta drive again. I'm gonna be so glad once my mom just won't make me drive freaking like random places. I basically just her freaking errand boy. Which I don't want to make it sound like bad, but it's just like, I'm gonna love it when I only have to drive when necessary and not these freaking drives, because it really kills my spirit, especially anytime I hear stuff about the driving. Like, it kills my spirit entirely, and I just wish that wasn't the case. That's it is what it is, you know. God dang it. I think I'm gonna clip the result I got from that Hololive quiz, just because I knew I was gonna get Elizabeth, and like I'm pretty sure even like I paused before there was like a slight pause. I'm curious if I can notice it going back, but like I literally was gonna be like, I'm probably gonna get Elizabeth before it, but I decided not to and just answer it. And yeah, I got Elizabeth, and I was like, yep, that makes sense. I was thinking about it though, and my answer to that first one would have been, it would have been hard because like, yeah, I want a magic sword. But magic in the way of like lightning, you know? That's the thing. Yeah, I love the party that's called Labor getting more right wing. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to I want to see who actually would have gotten, because I again did that. And oh yeah, I'd also probably gonna do the John Cena one. That's awesome. Yeah, I want to go back to that quiz. Wow, they've tweeted a lot since that quiz. Oh yeah, because I tweeted about the concert. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they really tweeted a lot since the concert, or since the quiz was posted. That's crazy. Man, they post a lot. Well, I'm sure they're also just super active now because of this. Well, this is the announcement. Did I scroll past it? I feel like I didn't, but... When was I on? I was on Friday, right? It's, oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. They just posted an insane amount since then. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I just want to see who it is if I said magic instead of sword. It was still Elizabeth. Okay. Is that the one that's the same? Oh, I guess the combinations, though, there's a lot of different ones. Because, yeah, there's technically 20 answers and 19 of them, but the combination, how you answer, like, yeah, there's... You know, obviously it's different. Oh, if I did healing, it'd be Iris. If I change the first one to protect and heal. It is funny, because, yeah, I feel like at this point, Iris is considered, like, the healer of Hololive, but also she... In the freaking dungeon, she certainly did not do that. Well, I should say she did it to herself, but not to the other people. Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah. Yeah, the healer / protector of Hololive, and she only heals herself. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, I feel like that's honestly what makes it so great. It's because, yeah, Iris, I feel like on the, like, if you just look at the cover, it just has that. Like, you just, you know, you look at it face value. She has that aspect of it, but deep down, she's like real bad at it. And it's just like, I'll heal myself. Which I think she wants to be a tank, not a healer. Because in that, her description's like, oh, well, the healer's got to stay alive, right? But it's like, no, you can just be strategic about it. I played enough Fire Emblem to know. And also killed enough healers. Because I played them when I was like 9 and didn't understand. Hey, they should probably not be in the freaking line of sight of an enemy. Yeah, that was rough. But I also didn't play in Classic when I was like 9, so you know. It was fine. Yeah, I definitely did that a lot. Yeah, just move them in the back line, you know. You don't be the tank if you're not gonna get hit. You know, then what's the point? You know, the guy with a giant shield in the back of the line. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. I honestly thought though Iris would fit better with friendship than peace. I feel like Fauna would work better with peace, but I don't know. maybe I'm wrong. Because I feel like Fauna both has like the two of like, yeah, healing and protecting and magical powers, but I guess it's more like she would probably have magical powers to heal, right? That would heal. So I mean, yeah, it is nature, Mother Nature. So I mean, she would probably have offensive and supportive magic. I think with nature, there's probably not a whole lot of great defensive ones you could do. You know, I guess rocks, but that's also Bibu. So I feel like she's kind of stepping in on Bibu's territory if that's the case. You know, so I feel like honestly, like nature would be more offensive and freaking supportive magic. Like that would be the better fit. And honestly, probably the best would be supportive. I mean, yeah, you can do like sharp thorns, but like I feel like that's mostly it. That would be effective. Because also, if someone just has fire, then like, yeah, it's also gonna be ineffective. Or water, because I think you can just drown them as well. Ice can freeze it. Like, I think a lot of like, if they had elemental powers, then yeah, it's not gonna do anything. You either burn it, drown it, like blow it away, freeze it, which also kills it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it really wouldn't do much. I mean, yeah, it'd probably do best against like rocks and the ground, you know, going Pokemon typing. I think even electricity, though, it's not great for the plants. I don't think it's probably not horrible, but it's probably not great. They got struck by lightning. Although, they are living beings, so I assume it would just die, right? I feel like it's a stupid thing I'm gonna look up, but... What happens to plants struck by lightning? Probably of damage to plants is very high. The heat and pressure waves generated by lightning can kill or damage the plants instantaneously. Okay, never mind. So that's also really bad. Got it. Sometimes lightning struck trees will literally explode, with much of the bark and splintering of wood. With much shattering of bark and splintering of wood. Wow, okay, yeah, so it's very bad. Yeah, so I think like any element honestly would just beat nature, even like offensively. So even if it was like an element thing that you use more offensively, but you just shot it with it, you know, like they're done. So yeah, I think nature would definitely be more of a supportive spell, because again, I think for those same reasons it wouldn't be good for defense. So yeah, especially like, because I feel like with offense against rock it's fine, but I feel like the other way around it's terrible, because yeah, if you just have a rock flying past you super quick, it's probably gonna have enough force to like break through it, you know, I would guess. So yeah, it probably wouldn't be the best. Yeah, I do like how also like, where's your weapon with Virus? And he's like, I have no idea. Like, she had to come up with it on the spot. I already have it in my mind. I mean, I already said it would be like a lightning sword, but I also wanted it to be like a sword that worked like Goku Spirit Bomb, or like also would get stronger with like energy that people put in, you know, added on to like my storytelling, you know. Yeah, that'd probably be it. I also was thinking of doing hammer and sickle like shurikens, but that might be too on the nose. Well, I mean, I literally have the freaking hammer and sickle on the bottom left of my screen, so I don't know, man. I don't even know if that would be too on the nose at this point. I have no idea. Also like a gun, but probably like how Victor's gun is. Or like Agent 47, you know, as a callback to like Hitman. to play like Hitman a lot, because I also want them to be like references to like games I play a lot. And honestly, you could say like the lightning sword is like a reference to Ryuma's sword, the Rajinto or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, that one. You can say it's a reference to that. I think I'd still want to, if I'd want to reference Fates, it'd probably be the Yado, because I associate myself with Corrin a lot more. But yeah, or like their Dragon Fang, something like that. Ooh, Dragon Fang with the electric sword actually would be kind of cool. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. I think it would probably be the gold baller, honestly, as far as like a pistol. Because yeah, my gun would be like a pistol, and I think it would be like the gold ball or something like that. So yeah. I mean, I think another thing too is like I wanted to just be like someone who could just do a bunch of fighting game moves as well. Just turn to like any fighting game character. Because I feel like, yeah, sure, it's cool to have like the sword and all that, but I feel like it's also cool to just be able to fight with the bare fists, you know? Bare hands. So yeah, it'd also probably be like that too, where I would just be able to mimic fighting game characters. That'd be cool. Yeah, I feel like by just saying like I have plot armor, I feel like I can just basically give myself any power and it's fine. And also, like, if anyone asks what if I'd want a superpower, it would be plot armor. It's the best superpower, you know? And also, I assume with plot armor, like, I'm dead, but I still have my form, right? Too, if we're going based off like Goku, he still has his form, even though he's dead, you know? So I'd still have my conscience, I still have everything. I guess it depends on like how life is when I'm dead. Because if it's just an empty void, then that sucks. But I'm assuming, because like Goku, like he's able to like train and do all that. He's still got stuff to do when he's dead. So like I don't think it'd be that bad. Like I'd get around like the thing with immortality that I would hate of just being like, oh yeah, I'd just be swimming in an empty void all eternity. Like I can get around that by just being like, yep, I'm gonna die, right? At one point, and then I get to hang out. Because yeah, I'd say Goku has plot armor, but he still dies. So yeah. You know, just let my hubris get to me on like a super strong person. And then I die, and then we're good. Perfect. No problems. So yeah, people are gonna ask what superpower I want. Plot armor. Absolutely. I feel like ever since the Breaking Dimensions concert was like announced though, and like I saw all of them with like their weapons, and I think they even implies like, oh, what are we all fighting against? Like, I immediately started brainstorming stuff by putting myself into it, because of course I did. Because I'm a narcissist. Can't even say that with a straight face. I mean, I do think I'd be a narcissist sometimes. I think we all can, but I mean, yeah, I would not describe myself as a narcissist. Yeah, I've kind of self-inserted myself in that. Because again, when you give the pretense of plot armor, you're just the strongest being then. Because again, with the whole like death thing, Goku comes back to life, you know? So I can just be reborn, you know? Just come back to life. Just how it works. And then So it doesn't matter how many times they kill me. But even then, I think it would be super hard to kill me because I'm just gonna have plot armor the entire time. You know, I would just be the strongest being. I think that's why, like, I envision myself as like the one that they're fighting, like 1v19, and then I like set up like scenarios of like, oh, how did we get in that scenario? Initially, I wanted to actually like tie in with the Hololive lore of like me being like the one person who like got away from like Fauna's like nature, like embracing nature, returning to nature, stuff like that, because like I saw how it was, and then I like managed to escape it. And I think eventually it turned into like a goddess like blessing me with plot armor and all that. It got a little out of hand because I think I wanted to like keep myself as human during that, but I might honestly just have the plot armor like before that. But yeah, that's how I was gonna start, and then I was gonna have Fauna like in my mind. Fauna was gonna be more resentful and like remember that. And so like one random day we just all met up and then like Fauna started it. And then everyone just followed up with that. Actually, I think that was the second incarnation. The first one I think actually was like Bibu or Gigi just randomly attacking me for no reason. And then everybody just went along with it. I think that was the original one. So there was that, but then I think the second one was Fauna, where I had more of a story with it. Because as I've said, like Fauna and Moonmam are two promised Oshis, so I feel like it fits. And then I turned it into because I watched like the Halloween animation and then the Miss Bad ending during those times, and so I was like looking like myself how I would know some of the stuff would be because I could also time travel like Ame. So I time traveled to those alternate universes. Oh yeah, that's another thing I didn't mention with my sword. I'd be able to rip a portal through time and space and then I could time travel through it. That was another thing. It's a really strong sword. I don't know, maybe I'll make him like Mjolnir where only I could wield it. Everybody else can't pick it up. But actually I did want like my sword to be like a thing where like it just kind of flies into my hand, you know. It was gonna be kind of like that. I think I actually originally envisioned it with like Korn with the Yato, because like where's Korn put the Yato? Like seriously, they don't have a sword sheath. Where does it go? It's why like I always envision like they just reach out their hand and then it just goes to them. So it's like, where is it? You're not holding it. Like where is it? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I was gonna look at the alternate dimensions or alternate timelines, and I think eventually that would have got me to a timeline. Actually, I think before that. It was a lot of me thinking about this. It was actually like me being tracked down, I think, by Ame, because I was wanted for something, and then just kind of like running away. And I think Ame had some of the other girls with her. And I managed to get away from that. I think it was because I wanted to have a run-in with them at some point. That's what it was. Yeah, I think so. Like, I was gonna get into these scenarios where I met like one or like a few of them at a time, and so that's how they would like recognize me. And I think then that's when like Gigi and Bibu would like just attack me. I think that's what I set up for, or at least later. I think at first, yeah, it was just straight up just for no reason. But I think later, then I tied it back around to that. And also, I still had the Fauna thing like the Fauna tie-in. So I was like, oh, this ties in nicely. And then it turned in to me with the alternate dimensions or timelines, universes, looking at those, and then going into a meeting of like the evil versions of all the Hololive girls. Or, well, it's definitely like that, and then like an evil version of myself, or like Liam, talking to all of them, like talking about like invading other timelines and universes. It was definitely into that. I think then I made it so like they were separate. Because like that, why are they in the same universe? That doesn't make any sense. And so I made them separate. So I actually, well, because yeah, Ame can time travel, so it's kind of like, I feel like I'm just letting, I'm kind of not helping. Because I wanted to be like a collab kind of thing. It's like, obviously they should still be able to have some spotlight, you know? So then I made it so that Liam went to the alternate dimension with evil Liam, and overhears his plan of like working with them. I don't know if like with Ame, because I think in Ame I also was gonna have her do the same thing, but like I feel like it doesn't make sense because they don't know who I am, you know? So I think it would make more sense that she's aware of like the evil versions of themselves, and then I would go to that timeline or universe, or I'm just in the Hololive universe, one of the two, and I would try to tell them. And I don't know if I would either like do the thing where they just jump me for a little bit and then like, oh, it's revealed that there's evil forms of themselves, or like they would listen. It'd probably be one of the two. Sorry, I'm like scratching something on my mouse pad. I don't know what it is, but it's really on there. Can't get it off. And I'm burping a lot. Great. Yeah. But yeah. So I think, so Ame would be aware of it. He would probably tell all of them about what's going on about that. And then I would probably show up to warn them of that, because again, Liam, he would have the same like thing as me, like the same power level essentially, which means like it's very, very bad. You know, if I can think I can 1v19 them, you know, it's not great. And so I warned them about that as well. And then I think that's when you'd see like evil versions of themselves. The reason why I did the evil versions of myself, again, is going back to messaging. I actually got inspiration from the end of It Chapter 2, the modern one, where the protagonists have to like overcome their fears first, and then they can do damage to like Pennywise and get rid of him. So I was gonna, in my mind, either evil versions of themselves would like be one thing that they've really had a hard time overcoming, or like was really hard on them for their life, throughout their life, like personified. They would like really dig into that and tap into that, and then it would show them getting over that, and then that's how they would defeat them. I think also though I wanted it to be like duos that like maybe aren't used too often, like Shiori Ame, stuff like that. Thought that'd be kind of neat. Also, I feel like it'd be a kind of a neat callback if like Evil Gura or something like that, from a reference to the Halloween friggin' can't think of the word now, animation, I guess is the right word, where she had like the lethal injection. So like Evil Gura has a lethal injection, and like Ame notices that as like Gura's trying to like, the evil one's trying to like stab someone with it. So like Ame notices in time and knocks it out. I feel like that'd be neat as like callbacks. And I think at this point it'd been like eventually they're all done, like all defeated. It is funny too, because I initially wanted this to be like a concert, and like looking back on this now, there's no shot it would be a concert. Like a musical, maybe. Concert, absolutely not. And then it would end with, because I guess in my mind, Evil Liam just is in a castle for some reason. And so this is when I'd really play into like the hitman part of it, where I would like there'd be a bunch of people like surrounding the castle, right? Obviously, guards and all that. And I'd have me and I think like Fauna, maybe other people who played Hitman, as like, and it'd be like a Hitman kind of like tribute, where we gotta sneak through and like subdue some people, do some distractions. And then eventually that leads to the top of the castle or whatever tower, whatever the structure is. And it's just Evil Liam there. And I think there's going to be some monologuing, obviously some back and forth. And then, because this is still in like the Hololive universe, like that timeline, that world. And so I realize how destructive it's going to be. And so what I do is, as he's charging at me, rip a hole through, like a portal through it. And then he comes out, and it was in my mind, it was going to be either the Myth evil ending, or the bad ending, or the Halloween timeline universe before it got reset. It was going to be one of those two, because I wanted to send her on like a timeline that like was basically already destroyed, so or send Liam there. And so I was thinking more likely it's probably going to be the Myth bad ending, since that one's more very clearly like that world is more screwed. So it's probably gonna be that one. And then I basically tell someone there, I assume probably Fauna, because she'd be up there, of just being like, I'll handle this myself if I need help. I think more recently I thought of just like handing her something that would just like glow or something like that, just being like, I need your help, or like I'd rip a hole through the portal again and they can just help through that way. And so yeah, then the fight ensues, all that. I was thinking of just like doing a bunch of like fighting game references and just doing a bunch of fighting game combos, all that. And then yeah, and then eventually I would get to the point where I'm on the ropes, so I would need the help. And then I think that's when, because again, this was originally going to be a concert, it would have been like the big like collab, song that would have sung in, and then that would have been the big like attack I need, hit him with it, and then he's done. And yeah, and that's, I think, pretty much the end, other than like I wanted to do a throwaway of I wanted to do a Hololive knockoff of, or Hololive version of McDonald's, being like, oh, I want to go here now, I'm starving, kind of a thing, and just kind of walk off there. But yeah, and I think also it would have been something like, hey, if you want to spar with me anytime. So yeah, it would have probably been something like that. But yeah, that was supposed to be that started on an idea of it being a concert. Which, looking at how it developed, absolutely not. Especially since, like, because originally for the concert, I was going to be involved in every single one of them, because obviously it was the 1v19 I still in my mind. And so I'm like, I don't even think I could handle that. Like, even if I'm in like the best shape of my life, dude, like, because I would have been involved in all that, they would have been like fighting while singing their songs, and so like I would have been like defending all of it, and it's just like, that is too much. Especially for like a concert that would be live, that is way too much. That is something I probably could only do like once a year. I think then I was like, okay, how can I get breaks? And the first thing I was like, oh, the first song will be like all Hololive, and I'm like, that doesn't help me, because I need a break. Yeah, I don't think I really thought that much further, because then it just kind of spiraled into what I talked about already. So yeah, Why is this so quiet? Is it a Payday song? Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's not Shuffle again. What the frick, man? God dang it. Why are you not in Shuffle? Yeah, that was basically the idea of the concert. Concert in quotes. Heavy quotes. Yeah, it's... And it's something I've been thinking about basically the past 2 weeks. So, if it seems like pretty well thought out, that is why. Because, again, on and off for 2 straight weeks. I do know I need to work really hard, though, if I even want to have a chance at that happening. Because I was thinking the kind of thing where, like, I wouldn't be in Hololive, but, like, I'd be, like, adjacent to it. I don't know how to put it, like, I'd be kind of under contract of them, but, like, also kind of more on the independent side. I guess in a way it'd be more of, like, how VShojo is, just with all its employees, but I would be that way with that one specifically. But the way I figured out, the only way I'd have a chance of, like, actually getting that would be if I'm one of the biggest influencers. Other than that, there's no chance. And so yeah, based off of that idea, I know, like, I have to work hard if I even want, like, a chance of that ever happening, which it probably won't. Which is fine, but you know. Yeah, that's what's been going on in my brain the past, like, 2 weeks. That and politics, because that's how my brain works. God. I think the reason why politics are so much in my brain, though, is because I don't talk to anybody. I haven't talked to anybody outside of my mom, I think, since the end of last school year. Other than that, it's only been my mom. She's the only one. It's like, yeah, that's also probably not healthy. And also a freaking problem. It's a big old problem. Big old issue. Yeah. I also wish I had more freaking games so I could feel more fine with, like, not doing Hitman or something like that, and then be like, oh, there's another game I want to play. Yeah, let's do that. And I haven't found it. I'm not in the mood, man. Dang it. Well, it could also just be because it's, like, I'm streaming it. Maybe that's another part of it that I'm just not realizing. But, like, yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah. God, my vision is so blurry at this point. It's crazy too, because I've just been talking the whole time. So realistically, I could have just done this with my eyes closed. Well, I think I have used some visual stuff with the political map, like electoral maps. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, I could have just done this with my eyes closed. But my vision's blurry because I stare at my computer screen for like 2 hours straight. God dang it. Oh yeah, another thing I wasn't aware about with driving, I should also mention, is yesterday, I think I started driving at 8:30, something like that. So it was dark out. So my mom's like, oh, make sure you turn your lights. So I turned it, and I was like, man, these lights are non-existent driving down. Turns out, once we got home, my mom was like, oh, did you turn it all the way fully? And then I turned it again, and then the lights actually worked. So yeah, apparently you gotta turn it twice. I had no idea that was a thing. I guess it makes sense why it's like a turn knob, but like, yeah, I thought it was just an on and off thing. I didn't realize there was a low and high. I thought it was like those lights and then your brights, and that was it. So yeah, I thought the lights were actually broken. Nope, it's apparently you gotta turn it twice, and then that's the lights. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, let's just say that it wasn't fun driving. There was also someone who I think had their brights on just behind me, and that was also miserable. Or at least like LED lights. Just lighting up the road in front of me. And also like, boy, is it terrible when you're stopped and you just have that behind you. Really hard to focus on driving. So yeah, I don't like nighttime driving. Well, and also because apparently there was actually deer out too. There is also that, which also just upped my anxiety even more because I know what deer can do. Because my mom and brother had a run of a deer. I think it was almost 3 years ago at this point. Yeah, because I was December 1st, 2021, I think. I think that's when it was. So yeah. It's been almost 3 years. I guess not almost really, but I think it's closer to 3 or 2.5 than 3, but whatever. You get it. But yeah, that part was irrelevant anyway. But yeah, I know how dangerous they can be, and so yeah, that sucks. Just up my anxiety a lot. I will say, I feel like I also play like defensively. Like I am a defensive driver, but I feel like at times I'm probably too defensive to the point where like I'll slow down like probably a lot earlier than I should. And so I feel like I might get rear-ended. I've said it multiple times, but I feel like it just has to be stressed that's probably what's gonna happen. Is me just getting rear-ended. So yeah, there's also that. I also should probably like raid people. My problem with raiding though is like I feel like all the people want to raid is like these like cozy, like chill streamers, you know? And since I talk about politics, I feel like it's such a weird contrast, you know? I'm just in a weird spot, man, where it's just like a mix of the two. Right? It's like I feel like the audience is just gonna be offset either way. I'm sure once I get an audience, I'll figure out how to balance it. It's just really hard when your two interests are those, or like the things your brain's obsessed with are those. It's really hard. Especially when most people like watch streams for entertainment. It's very hard. I hate it. Like, I feel like streams that could be fun is like teaching people about like leftist theory and that, like other streamers bringing them in. I feel like those can be fun streams, especially if the person's like, one, willing to learn, and two, like able to make it like funny and lighthearted. You know? Like if they're still themselves, if they're like comedic, you know, if they're still more open to being themselves. Because I feel like those would be fun streams. Because I enjoy talking about that stuff and like having productive conversations. So yeah, if they're willing to listen, heck yeah, dude. If they still want to be themselves during it, or like try to still be entertaining, by all means. You know, because I get it. Some of that stuff can be pretty heavy. You know, so if you want to keep it, rein it in by making some lighthearted stuff, cool. I think that's what some more news does, and like that's why they do it. Is to get maybe people who aren't like necessarily like super into politics or like don't like talking about it. Like they'll throw these like running gags throughout like the videos or something like that, or like these random jokes in there to like lighten the mood of it, you know. So like you know, you can stay in it and it's more digestible for people who just don't want the serious part of it straight up, you know. He has a mix of them, so yeah, it's very nice. He's pretty good at it. I will say. Oh, that's a poll that had Kamala only up 3 in Virginia. That's interesting. Really interesting. Yeah. I will say that Republicans or Democrats in Congress have steadily increasing the Democrats that's going on. That is definitely interesting. Yeah, I think Kamala's favorability is going to start to stagnate as well, just because the leftists, they're probably going to say unfavorable. Because I'm sure someone would have said favorable, and then the DNC speech probably is going to hurt her. Oh, I don't know if she's going to break even, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for the last half hour, so I think I might just end it. Also, for the selfish reason that, like, it would be easier to edit and grab clips from. So there would be, like, another half hour that I have to worry about, but I guess it wouldn't make it harder to find clips. It is going to be annoying with these just chatting streams, because I have to find, like, well, I guess it's not going to be too hard, because I just have to find when I started speaking. I think what I'm going to do is just, like, cut out all the empty noise. Or, like, the stuff I talk about that I feel like aren't really clip worthy. And then go from there. Like, if I want to somehow condense these into a minute, under a minute, then maybe I can do it. I wish shorts could be longer. If they could be like 3 minutes, that'd be great. Because I don't know, from what I've talked about, I don't know if I can condense a lot of these into a minute. I mean, I think some people have done it where, like, their shorts have multiple parts to it, but, like, I feel like that's really dumb, because also I feel like people won't see them, you know? So, like, they just get one part of it. I don't know, man. I did get a sub on one of my other... Oh, I on my VOD channel, didn't I? Oh, that was a long time ago, apparently. Never mind. Yeah, I did get one on the main channel from the shorts. That's the thing, like, shorts actually get shown. For some reason, like, these don't. Although someone actually clicked on this, now this has 4 views. Hooray. Because people are actually clicking on these. Yay. Like, that's the problem I have with the freaking, like, regular videos. Is that, like, well, one, they either just won't show you, like, they won't show them, which is a problem I had the entire time. Or, like, if people just don't click on them, then they just won't get shown. So it's just like, oh, great. Awesome. And I feel like, honestly, that's kind of dumb. Like, I guess on the algorithm, I can understand how it makes sense, but I feel like it's not helpful. You know? It's not great. Because I feel like it should still, like, show people and not just flatline, you know? Like, show them less, sure. But, like, just completely flatline, I feel like it's a bit much. But I don't know. That's how I feel about it anyway. I also don't think I'll ever use this. I spent a whole stream making this and I don't think I'll ever use it. To be fair, this mic sucks. It's so blurry. It freaking sucks. But yeah, I'm probably not going to use that even though I spent a whole stream making it. Which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. If I stream on YouTube, then I might be able to use it, but I'd have to get what is it in Streamlabs? What is the subscription thing called? Oh hey, good thing I did this because it wanted me to log back in, so I assume my chatbot wouldn't work. Ultra, that's what it is. It's Ultra. Cool. Anyway, Cloudbot. Oh, he is on. Okay. Ugh. I'm burping again. God dang it. Why do I have these like weird... Ah, I did it again. I just freaking burp. I need to really figure out how like I can like control myself to burp. Because I always burp on stream and just have like a bunch of burps. I hate it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna probably end it. Let me see real quick, actually. Well, I can do the VODs thing real quick. Yeah, so this is my last week of summer break. So, after the Tuesday, I'll probably change the schedule command if I remember, and all the like upload defaults, all that. I probably should also go back in the description of all my videos and change that as well. My VODs, my shorts, all of them. The thing is also, it's not even that hard. It's just a copy paste. Like I just Control A, Control V, probably on most of them. So it's like probably, it's gonna be tedious, but honestly, it's probably not even gonna be that long. If I just listen to music, I can probably get through it pretty easily. So yeah, it's actually probably not that bad. But yeah. So you saw the stuff earlier. So I got left to this point is all platforms Dragon 6464. Did I upload those shorts on TikTok? I don't think I did, but oh, actually, I think this will. Hang on. Oh no, it's muted. Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't. Sure didn't. Why does it have 9 notifications when I don't have any? What? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I didn't on my other account. I don't know if I will keep going with TikTok, honestly. I have no idea. I mean, it would be a good way of, like, getting people to see me, but I feel like I also have to do the thing where it's like, oh, the Twitch name is this during the freaking short. Which I can probably do on the me talking, because you're just staring at a PNG, most likely. That's probably what's gonna happen. So, like, yeah, you can probably... Oh, thanks, Streamlabs. You'll probably just see the, like, the PNG too, so I can probably put that in there. And I think there's an element on Filmora that I can do that pretty easily. So, yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. I do want to put a mix of political and like wholesome, lighthearted stuff, because that's obviously gonna be my mix. So like, I feel like you need to get the full experience, you know, and like realize that yep, this is what you're getting. I feel like my Twitter though I've gotten pretty political, but I think it's just because I'm in the corner of politics. I should follow more people outside of politics, so then maybe I can only have some of it be politics. That'd be nice. Because yeah, I don't know if it is entirely Twitter that's killing my mental, or I think it's just the corner of Twitter I'm in. I need to get out of it. Get me out of that corner, man. Yeah. So I'll see you freaking Tuesday, or the last time I'm gonna do it at 2:30, right? I didn't change it on the... Oh, right, because I said that was gonna be one stream anyway. That was gonna be like that. So, yeah, that's why I didn't change it. But I'm gonna change it. Actually, I can change it now, because the change is gonna be in basically then. Um, boom, boom. Actually, that's actually not that hard of a change. I just add the new date and a couple of commas. There we go. Bam. And it's updated. All right. Yeah, so there's that. Cool. So yeah, I'll see you Tuesday probably. Actually, I will. I don't think there's gonna be anything that'll make me not stream. The only way would be if I were to like drive suddenly, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, see you Tuesday then. Goodbye.